there are 5 words that were incredibly seductive to a man, and when you say these types of words, then he's going to be drawn to you in ways you've never experienced before. Well, there are, kind of. These words represent bigger ideas that you can bring whenever you're connecting with a guy or start dating with him, or when you're in a relationship with a person, to build a deeper emotional connection, as well as make him really just desire you in ways that you've never experienced. So let's jump into it. Hey there, my name is Adam LaDolce from lovestrategies.com, where we help successful single women get out there and attract long-lasting love, and do it with a proven strategy. And today we're going to talk about how you can use these concepts to seduce your man. So the first word that is really seductive to a guy, and I'm going to have to explain this one, is the word no. Let me explain. In this broader community, we tend to have a lot of very nice people. And what that means is when we are people pleasers and we put everyone before our own needs, we end up being the type of person who can't say no to anyone. We just cannot do it. And when you can't say no to anyone, suddenly that sets you up for being a low value person, because high value people who appreciate and defend their affection and their time and their energy, and they don't want to just give it freely to anyone, those types of people are willing to say no. And believe it or not, once you start incorporating no into your love life or your dating life, suddenly now your value is going to go whoop, right here. And then the type of men that you're going to start attracting are also going to be up here. So let me give you an example. I remember back when I was dating, back in my 20s, I was in a phase of my life where I was like traveling a lot. If I went back in time, I could slap my 20-year-old self across the face and be like, dude, grow up. I would do that, but I can't. But so anyways, I was in this phase. I was kind of dating, but I was being a little bit lazy, honestly. And I was going on a first date with this girl I'd met, and I didn't want to go travel to her area of town, okay? It was maybe like 3 miles, but 3 miles here in Boston is kind of like in Florida driving like 40 minutes, okay? It's pretty far, okay? So I asked her to come to my area for a first date. It's like, dude, come on, be more of a gentleman. But I didn't, and that's what I did. I told her she had to basically come to me, and she's like, no, dude, like, you're the guy. Be a gentleman, you can come to me. Otherwise, this ain't happening tonight. And I gotta say, the moment that she did that and basically said no to me, her value went so high. Because honestly, if she was like, and this may not even have been conscious at the time, if this had happened, but if she had said yes, in some ways, it would have told me that she didn't value herself or her affection or her time or her energy enough if she was going to travel all the way across town for a first date with a guy that she barely knew. You know what I'm saying? So be willing to say no. Don't feel like you always have to be a people pleaser. And by the way, once you start doing that and setting boundaries in your love life, oh my God, do people start rising to those boundaries. And then the types of guys who don't, they just go away. Now, the second word might be a little bit confusing to you because I just said no was the first seductive word, but the second word is yes. Let me explain. Obviously, we're not going to just be a no person and say no to every single person that comes into our life and no, 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 no. We're going to say no when the other person that we're dating or going out with is being unreasonable. But if he's being reasonable and he's trying to take you out, he's trying to take the lead, then be willing to say yes. Be a yes woman. Be curious and kind of learn to sit back. And if he wants to take you out on a given night to his favorite place that he's always wanted to show you, and yeah, it ends up being kind of a dive bar, but there ends up being a really cool band up there, and he wants to play pool with you, just go with the flow, all right? Say yes, be open to adventures, and the best thing is when you lean back, you lean into your feminine energy. And what that allows you to do is sit back and judge him every single step of the way and see if he's the right type of person for you. And this can be really, really challenging, especially for our clients who are like the take charge, must always dictate everything in their professional lives. It can be really, really hard to step into their feminine energy. But I assure you, once you start learning how to do this, and we call this little love step number 1, once you start doing this and be curious, be feminine, be a yes person, lean back and receive, oh my God, does it make dating so much more fun, so much more interesting, and it allows the attraction to be just incredibly potent between the two of you. The third word is why. Now, when we date, we ask a lot of different questions. So, where are you from? What do you do? So, who do you like to hang out with on the weekends? All of these questions are so boring, in my opinion. What do you do? Where are you from? Who do you hang out with? Blech. When you use those types of words, yeah, I mean, obviously you're gonna ask those questions at some point, but the most interesting question you can ask that builds an incredible connection between two people is why. Why do they do what they do? Why do they live where they live? Why do they exist on this earth? Why is the best question out of the who, what, when, where, why, and how questions. Asking someone why about anything is going to elicit, honestly, a different part of their brain. Whenever I ask someone why, they are always like, wow, that's an interesting question. I've never thought about why. And so remember to incorporate that whenever you're on a date or meeting someone for the first time. And you can use why for about anything. Don't forget that one. The fourth word is passionate. Now, I will be the first one to say that it's kind of a pet peeve in mine when someone overuses the word passionate. Like they're like passionate about everything. Like, oh my God, I'm so passionate about that. I'm so passionate about this. And it's just like everything in their life is passionate. And that's not possible. You can only be passionate truly about a couple things in your life because that just waters down the whole world. But on the other hand, it's a pet peeve of mine, people who have no passion towards anything. And passion is just simply an uncontrollable emotion that you feel towards something. And usually it's a strong, positive emotion, a passion towards that thing. And when you're getting out there and dating, the most incredibly seductive thing about another human being is someone who just has emotion and passion towards something that they do or someone in their life or just anything that's going on. And people, it's palatable when you go out with someone. Have you ever, comment below, let me know if you've ever gone out with someone who's just a passionate person and is passionate about something. And for me, like I have a few different passions in my life. The most important one is kite surfing. Like that is probably the thing I would talk a lot about, or my profession, helping all of you women. Those are my two passions. I can't go back on my words saying that you can't be passionate about everything. I'm not. Those are my two most passionate things. So I want you to think about what are you most passionate about and leave that in the comments because it's going to help you when you go on that date to be able to talk about your passions. And the final word is slow. This is where we want to, especially when we are further along in the dating process, guys are going to tend to want to move pretty fast throughout the process, especially if you're following the little love steps the way that we teach them. But we recommend it's at that very moment to actually slow things down. And don't be afraid to tell him, hey, you know what? I want to move a little bit slow. And when you do this, suddenly now, most guys, it's going to try to make them speed things up. So I want you to think about all these 5 words. No, yes, why, passionate, and slow. Use these throughout your dating process. Use these ideas. Get out there and have a little bit of fun. Leave that comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you want more videos just like this, a little more freeform, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll speak to you very soon. All right, bye-bye.